Hello and welcome to Sincerely Elvis Presley. I'm Sean. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. And if you're not, thanks for returning. I really appreciate it. Today I'd like to share two books which look at similar periods of Elvis's career, which a lot of people refer to as the Vegas years. The first book is by a controversial author, Paul Lichter. Now, Paul Lichter's divided opinion in the Elvis world for many, many years. He was one of the first authors to start producing large volume Elvis photo books. In fact, his books go back further than that. One of his very first books was in 1975, a volume called Elvis in Hollywood. And I have a special place in my heart for that particular book, because either the year it came out or the following year, I remember getting it for my birthday, and it really was an eye-opener to the 9-10-year-old me, getting to see all the movie posters and all the various bits and pieces of information about the films, many of which I'd still yet to see. So I do have a soft spot for Elvis in Hollywood. Paul Lichter himself, who did pass away last year, as I say, was quite a controversial figure, divided opinion quite heavily. He claimed to have been a close friend of Elvis's, but a lot of people actually say that isn't the case, particularly some of the Memphis Mafia. I don't know what's the case, whether it's true or not. The only thing I can really say is I've seen several photographs of Paul Lichter purporting to be with Elvis, and they're some of the worst cases of photoshopping I've ever seen in my life. You know, they're bad, but hey, I'm not here to comment one way or the other. So Paul Lichter's books were usually put out on his own Jesse Books label, self-published, but this particular volume that I want to share with you, Elvis in Vegas, was actually by a mainstream publisher, Overlook and Duckworth. And it retailed on all the major sites, you know, Amazon, Blackwell's, Waterstones, that kind of thing. It was at the time, it was fairly easy to pick up. I think it was looking 2012, I believe. Yep, 2012. So yeah, quite a mainstream release in comparison with the other books he'd released, and the focus was quite different. Whereas they were sort of large format photo books, this one has a lot of photographs, but is quite text heavy as well, taking you through the span of Elvis performing in Las Vegas. So I just wanted to give you a little flavour and a feel of what this book has to offer. Starts off 1956, when Elvis first appeared in Las Vegas, and unfortunately flopped, because Las Vegas was not ready for the atomic powered singer, as he was called. So you get a bit of background. You get Elvis and Priscilla's wedding, because that was held in Las Vegas at the Aladdin. And then you get a bit of Viva Las Vegas, obviously going for the full sweep of Vegas connections and Elvis. And then we get the first return to live performance, late July, August 1969. Wealth of photographs. And it goes through, each chapter then goes through separate seasons. So there's the January-February season, 1970. And as I say, there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of text in this book in terms of, you know, in comparison to Paul Lichter's other books. So there's a lot to find out. Next season, August-September 1970. Now we've jumped through to January-February 71. There we go. I do like this book. I do highly recommend it, actually. think it's still relatively easy to pick up, and it shouldn't cost you a fortune. So if you want a nice little compact overview of Elvis's seasons in Vegas, I highly recommend you have a look out for this one. Nice little book. At the back you get set list jumpsuits, so you get each of the Vegas shows and the songs performed at each date, and a list of all the jumpsuits that were worn. So there we go, just a quick look. Elvis in Vegas, Paul Lichter. The other book I wanted to share that covers the same period is by our old friend Eric Lawrenson, and this was the first book he put out. This is 2009, Elvis, the King of Las Vegas. This is relatively difficult to pick up. All of Lawrenson's later books were published through KJ Consulting, but this particular one, as you can see from the spine, was from Flaming Star. Now Flaming Star, if you've got any of the Follow That Dream books, you'll see that logo on the spine, because they're the ones that publish the books on behalf of Follow That Dream. So this is kind of a rarity in the Lawrenson canon, because as far as I'm aware, this is the only book that was on Flaming Star. Relatively hard to get your hands on this one, but well worth it if you can track it down. Right, let's give you a little flavour of what you can expect. Covering much the same ground, we start in 1956 and Elvis arriving in Las Vegas and unfortunately bombing in Las Vegas. Same sense of tying everything to Vegas. Elvis and Priscilla's wedding. Meeting Tom Jones in Vegas. Press call for signing the contract to the International. February 26, 1969. Shots from the press conference held August the 1st, 1969. Elvis and Vernon there. And then, as with the Lichter book, you basically go through Vegas season by season. But what's really nice about this book is the amount of candids. And I love an Elvis candid, especially from this period. But you get loads and loads of candid photographs. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the dust cover off, because it makes it super hard to actually hold the book up. There we go, that's better. Right, where were we? Candids. Lots and lots of really great candids. I love the way this book's put together. I love the format of it. It's another of those absolute treasures that frankly I wouldn't want to be without. Now we're jumping forward, we're still in August 1969. First engagement. More cracking candids. Then we jump to January, February 1970. Because this is a Eric Lawrenson book, you get a lot of contemporary reviews at the time. So that particular review there was in the New Musical Express by Ann Moses. King Elvis rules in Vegas again. But yeah, really, really nicely put together, this volume. It's a real shame some of these are as hard to get hold of as they are, because they're so nice. It would be nice if more people had the opportunity to see them and see what they had to offer. But hopefully I can give you a little bit of flavour if it's something that you're not able to get hold of, or actually not interested in owning it at all. So there we go, that's the way at his rehearsals for the shots from just before the opening night in August 1970. And lots of fairly familiar shots from that season. It's been covered so many times that I think we're all very, very familiar with those pictures. So backstage pictures. Some more nice candids. Then we jump forward to January, February 1971. And as with anything that tracks Elvis through the later concert years, obviously as each time moves on, the jumpsuits get more and more elaborate in their decoration. But yeah, I don't think it's fair to compare this with Lichter's Elvis in Vegas, because they're very different sorts of books. That was a mass market production, if you like. This is a more of a limited print run type affair, and a bit more luxury involved in it. But I think this one, you know, if it was like, which one of these books would you be prepared to live without, it would have to be the other one, simply because this one is so beautifully put together. So many great pictures, and each page is just loaded with pictures. Very reminiscent of Lawrenson's Elvis Files book and the way they're put together, but obviously this predates them. We see Elvis with British DJ Tony Prince, a visit from the UK fan club. Yeah, just beautiful. Look at that. What's nice really is it would have been quite tempting, I guess, if you're going to do a book on Elvis's concert years, just to fill it full of pictures of him on stage. But this book's got a really nice balance between stage shots and backstage shots and contemporary articles, bits of information. Absolutely beautiful. There are, I'd say, probably a dozen or so books I own that I absolutely would never ever be without, and this is certainly one of them. And I'm glad to be able to share it with you, and I hope you're enjoying a quick flip through. As I say, I don't want to. I'm often very torn with how best to show books to fellow fans and enthusiasts, because on the one hand I understand the idea of trying to show every page almost, because if it's something that you haven't got the funds to get hold of, or you can't get hold of, then this might be the only way you get to see it. So yeah, I fully get that. But then on the flip side, part of me thinks, but what if it's somebody that does want to get it and does get hold of it? I've kind of taken away the joy of them seeing it for the first time. So hopefully I strike a balance between the two of giving a flavour of what it offers, but without showing absolutely everything. So there's always something for someone to discover should they wish to get a copy themselves. If you don't agree with that and you think that I'm not showing enough of the books and you'd like to see more, then please let me know in the comments. Okay, so now we're in 1975. This was December the 2nd. Hopefully that gives you a flavour of what's on offer. Brilliant little book. And there we go. Elvis the King of Las Vegas. Definitely one to look out for. I hope you enjoyed that little look at a couple of Vegas books. And if you did, please do click on the like button. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please consider subscribing. I upload new content every Sunday at 6 PM GMT, so you'll always know when to find me. Next time, I'm going to be taking a look at a selection of books covering the 68 Singer special. Till then, take care. Ta-da!
We'll meet you again. May God bless you. Adios.